Nubreed coming through with another live stream. You know, life is too short to waste it around toxic people. Life is too short to waste it around people that you cannot trust. It's too short to be around individuals who do not have your best interests at heart. I'm telling you. And if you find yourself questioning who you around, I think it's about time that you make your exit strategy. I'm gonna allow YouTube to send the notifications out. See y'all rolling in. Yes, what's going on? Lord Tariq is in the building. Powerful prayer warriors in the house. Grace Hills in the building. Okay. Derek's in the house. Queen Gemini, KC Moto, Unveiled Woman, Live in Abundance is in the building. Yes, I'm glad y'all catching another broadcast. So, brothers and sisters, it's about that time that you begin to weed out the tear in your life. It's about that time that you put everything into perspective and look at things from a whole nother vantage point. You need to ask yourself who you can trust with your life. If you were ever in a dire situation where it was life or death, who could you trust to make decisions for you? If you were in a situation that's critical, who can you trust to do what you have wanted to be done in this life? Because life is short. The Bible says that life is but a mist, a vapor. One moment you here, the next minute you not. And when you think about it, brothers and sisters, who do you really have in this day and age where the love of many have waxed cold, where so many people can act like they friends, where so many people who are your blood relatives really don't have your best interests at heart? What's your exit strategy to start to gravitate towards those people who are going to look out for you in those times of need? Who's going to be there for you? And the wiser you get, the more you grow an understanding of your own mortality. And you see the real importance in having people in your circle who will stand up. Because I can tell you right now, a lot of us allow people in our hearts. A lot of us have been compassionate, empathetic, helpful towards everybody. But we always end up the ones who suffer for doing good. We always end up the ones who have nothing to show for how we treated others. That love is never reciprocated is what I mean. Of course, the Most High is going to reward us everything that we deserve and need. But make no mistake about it, we don't get the same energy because real is rare. Real is rare, and people tend to treat people who are real foul. And there's a lot of jealousy that starts to kindle up towards you, brothers and sisters. And they really be plotting. They really be trying to destroy you out here. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat this one bit. Either somebody is working for you or they're working against you. If you find yourself in bad situations dealing with a certain person, then the Most High is telling you all that he needs to tell you. that you need to remove yourself. You need to extract yourself from that situation. I just seen on the news, Lil Reese, Chicago rapper, lives out in Texas now. I just seen that he went to jail. I think he's sentenced to 5 years for a probation violation. His woman called the police on him, and they had some type of domestic issue back in 2022, and for whatever reason, he was back at that same house. He was back at that same house, and she called the police. And when the police showed up to lock him up, essentially for the probation violation, she acted like she didn't know that that was going to be the outcome. And that's something that he should have walked away from. The point I'm trying to make is life is too short to be getting caught up in situations like that. And life is too short in general to be dealing with people who really don't care what happens to you. Who really don't care what happens to you. Now, of course, he did what he did those years, but, I believe these people have children together. And it's a sad situation. It's not something that you really want to see. But at the end of the day, that's what's going on. Listen, if you in a intimate relationship, let's keep it there for a moment. Then we'll talk about friends and family a little bit. You in an intimate relationship and you know it's time for you to walk on out, walk away. You better get your exit strategy together now. This goes for men and women, because toxicity will end in your downfall. Like, that's nothing to play with. And quite often, the Most High will give you time, chance after chance after chance to get it right. But really, grace can only afford you one chance. Grace can only afford you one chance. And then if you go backwards in any type of situation where somebody is just not for you, and the Most High have warned you time and time again, then you can expect the worst out of that situation. And this goes for friends and family as well. Look, I could tell you this right now. Some of you all are in these situations and you need to hear this word. The Holy Spirit is operating right now. Some of you brothers need to walk out of situations before it gets detrimental. Some of you sisters need to walk away from certain situations before it gets detrimental. And, for whatever reason, you still endeared to people who can be your ultimate destruction. They can be your destruction. Some of y'all got people in y'all's lives that are on a downward spiral, and you trying to lift them up, and you don't understand that they choose to be where they're at. They choose to do what they do, and you got to look out for you. You got to understand what's going on with your mental health. You got to look out for yourself in a lot of these situations, because right now it's survival of the fittest. A lot of people are getting desperate out here. There's a lot of people who are emotionally, spiritually, and mentally codependent on other people more than the Most High. They don't have a relationship with God in this society these days. So who they relying on? Who they feeding on? Those who are walking upright. They feeding on the Most High's people. And these people get so obsessive. These people get fixated. These people get downright insane over you, brothers and sisters. That's right. Because there's an energy that they want from you. And when you try to walk out of their lives, some of you all might want to pull a Band-Aid off and get up out of their lives. But they turn deadly. That's what's going on in the world. Y'all see on the news when 8 people have brutally done the worst to a young lady or a young man. That's because there's a demon kindled up in these people. And when I be talking like this, people think it's a game. People don't know how close they are walking a tightrope between life and death, because you just got the wrong people around you. It's that serious because you're not reading the room properly, because you're not communicating properly, because you're not asking the right questions. Look, the Most High will give you grace, but you cannot underestimate the foul spirit of a person who really is working for the devil. You cannot underestimate a toxic person. Somebody said they don't understand the Most High calling on your life when you are trying to walk the righteous path with Him. Yes, the Most High is trying to save our lives. Look, the Bible says, what light has fellowship with darkness? You can't fellowship with these people. Look, brothers and sisters, until we are in a position where we can gather ourselves together, and I'm talking about people of the Most High, you may have to walk a solo path. You may have to really branch off and keep people to a minimum. Keep everybody at arm's length. Keep them at a distance. A lot of people got to be kept at a distance. That's right. Because you're going to be dealing with people who are unreasonable. Because their only reason for doing anything they do is for self-glorification. There's a lot of narcissistic, evil, downright satanic people out here who are only for self. They don't think about the greater good, and they damn sure don't think about you. They don't respect y'all's time. They don't respect y'all's effort. They don't respect y'all's kind nature. No. You living in a society that want to see you perish because you are God's people walking in the light. Make no mistake about it. They want to destroy you. Somebody says, I was thinking earlier, I can't wait to meet some of y'all in person. Real talk. That's right. It will happen. Somebody says, I thank you, Brother Nubreed, for the message. It's right on time. Much needed. All praises to the Most High. Somebody said, keep the Most High first, always in your life. Absolutely. You got to. And pray that you count it worthy while all these things are transpiring. I can guarantee you, if some of y'all pray that the Most High remove your enemies out of your life, a lot of y'all friends going to be taken out of the picture. A lot of the ones you call family are going to be taken out of the picture. Fellas, some of these ladies that y'all dealing with, they're going to be taken out of the picture. Ladies, the man you dealing with, he going to be taken out of the picture, because this is the divide of the wheat and the tare going on right now. Anybody who's not beneficial to your growth in the Most High and Christ is not to be in your life. They must be beneficial. They must be supportive. Because the narrow path gets tighter and tighter as time goes by. As each year passes, people are becoming more frugal. And what I mean by that is they don't share among each other no more. And that's a bad sign, because you're in a time where everybody should be looking to share among each other. Everybody should be looking to build because of what's happening in the world. But it seems that we grow further and further and further apart. It's divide and conquer. And the more pressure is built and the more society persecutes and, impoverishes the world, particularly in the United States, the more selfish people become. That's a recipe for destruction. That's a recipe for destruction. They're creating the perfect storm. So when you got people who can't share among you, when you got people who don't look out, when they don't reciprocate the same energy, when they're not moving the way you moving, you better believe if it comes down to the last bit of rations, they're going to take you out before they struggle, suffer at all. You're going to be done. That's just how it goes. And I know that we godly people, we fear the Most High. We read our book, we read our scriptures. Yeah, all that go without saying. But you are in a world that's about survival of the fittest. You are in a capitalistic dog eat dog society. Be not ignorant of these things. Be not ignorant how people really are. Because your kind nature can be your detriment in this world. And that's just the reality of it. Somebody said, big love from Manchester, UK. Absolutely. Shout out to the UK. Somebody said, I used to ignore my discernment, but not anymore. Yes, you can't ignore it. And the Lord will give you signs. He will definitely give you signs. He will show you what's going on. He will give you certain impulses. And a lot of times we try to ignore those things. Somebody said, energy vampires, I'm constantly under attack everywhere I go, even by my own family. Yeah. And that's what's going on in society right now, because there's no God in this world. Now, of course, we know there's a God. We know the Most High exists, but society has made a godless generation. The Bible calls it the faithless generation. Some people you're going to have to really cut off. Some of you all have to get your exit strategy. Some of y'all in situations that you don't want to be in. You may be forced in a situation. Some of you all may be with friends and family that don't really want you there. People that you can't trust. People who gaslight. People who want to see you in the worst case scenario. You got some people who may try to play you close, only to get a vantage point on your destruction. Imagine people out there that's trying to play you close just so they can see your destruction. Just so they can plant seeds of disparagement. Just so they can line you up. Some of you all know who these people are. You know who these monitoring spirits are. You know who these energy vampires are. You know who these devils in disguise are. You know who these people are who are putting on a facade. You know who these people are hiding behind a mask. You know who these people are in your lives, but you ignore it. Why? Because some of y'all try to think the best of people. You try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Some of your relatives, you gave them grace. You gave them mercy. And they continued to betray you. Open up wounds. Pick at the scabs that they caused. And you were passive. You were soft. Now y'all got to toughen up. Y'all got to toughen up in this faith. When they show their true colors, you got to believe them. You got to get out of there. You got to think of how you're going to get out of that situation. It's going to take prayer. It's going to take faith. But what did the Bible say? Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. You can have all the faith in the world, but if you're not moving towards getting out of that situation, doing what it is you need to do, instead of sitting back playing victim, because a lot of times that's where we get caught up and stuck in certain situations that are not beneficial towards us, because we start playing victim in our minds. No, don't do that. Don't fall prey to that. I know some of y'all been in them situations and are in those situations where you don't want to be in. Playing victim ain't gonna get you nowhere. You're gonna have to establish some boundaries, but at the same time be working towards getting out of those situations. I'm telling you now. Yeah, you got to use logic over emotions all day. Because let me tell you something, those people are evil on purpose. They don't care about you. They don't have no emotions towards you. There's people out here who have no emotions towards you. And they get off when they can get you emotional, when they can get you feeling some type of way. When you show human emotion, they don't have that because they never cared about you or cared for you to begin with. There was always deep rooted hatred. There was always a malignant root that lived in those people. Why waste your time showing compassion or empathy towards people who don't care for you? J Dog, thank you for the support, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, in this day and age, man, you gotta have people that you can trust. People that you know when you are in need, they're gonna be there for you. They're gonna show up. You gotta have people that you can trust with your information, because loose lips sank ships. And everybody out here nowadays is chatty patties. Everybody's talking. It's to the point where you cannot let your left hand know what the right hand doing because everybody talking. And look, Lord forbid y'all go out here telling your dreams, ambitions, and what you want to do. Them people will start casting spells and judgment and disparage everything you trying to build. Some things are to be kept to yourselves because they looking at you with the red eye. They'll take your ideas. That's a fact. They'll tell everybody about them before you can even manifest those things. 2 Samuel 22:4. I will call on the Lord who is worthy. I will call on the Lord who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from mine enemies. That's right. You definitely got to call on the Lord. And it's interesting because our enemies will be they of your own household in these days, meaning your own kinfolk. Your enemies would be those who call themselves friends. That's why the Lord said, if you love mother, father, sister, brother, daughter-in-law, son-in-law, whomever more than him, you're not worthy of him. You're not worthy of him. Some of you all got to pray that the Lord reveals your enemies. Because they'll show you patterns. They'll show you who they are through their actions. But you'll sit up there and be like, that's my mother. That's my father. That's my brother. That's my sister. And family's family. But you got some people who give you a pattern. They do certain things to you that can cost you your livelihood. They can cost you your life. You got some people out there who have cost you good relationships. It's up to you to figure out who those people are. It's up to you to discern. And you got to keep in mind, blood ain't always thicker than water. Some of you all was that person in your family that looked out for everybody. You was that person in your family that when you was up, everybody was up. But you couldn't get that same love. You couldn't get that same energy when you was in need. Why? Because they were using you. I'm telling you, you got to get your exit strategy out here. Somebody said, been going, thumbs up. Bro, speak truth. You keep doing the Most High's work. Thank you. Appreciate that, bro. Somebody says, once you heal, avoid being a respecter of persons. You will be much better off. Praise the Most High. That is a fact. You got to stop being a respecter of persons. Because the Lord is not a respecter of persons. The Lord is not a respecter of persons. Somebody said, so true. Blood ain't always thicker than water. Stay protected. Yeah, you got to stay protected out here. You got to keep your eyes on the prize. Let these people talk. But make sure you find your exit strategy. Make sure that you know who's really for you and who's not. Because I can assure you, if you look around, you watch this video, you think about who been in your circle, who been really 10 toes down, who has been there through the ups, downs, trials, and tribulations. Some of you all are not going to find that many people. Some of you all are going to be able to list those people on one hand, and some of y'all no hands. So what that means is there got to be changes made in your life. See, the burden is on you to make certain changes to make sure you're around the right people. The burden is on you to figure out who is who. And some of y'all going to have to take a step back, several steps back, and you have to get to yourself. You're going to have to get into a place of isolation, a place where you can really think and see things from a different vantage point. You're going to have to get to a place where you feel solemn, so you're able to really think clearly about who is who. John 16:33. In the world you have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. That's right. That's right. In the world you're going to have tribulation. Christ overcame this world. And anybody who's trying to stop you from getting to Christ, and I'm not talking about the lukewarm Christ. I'm talking about Christ as the Bible has written. Anybody trying to stop you from getting on that level, they gotta go. Because why? They're antichrist. They're antichrist. Anybody trying to take away your peace, anybody who is corrupting your good manner and disrupting your path, anybody who is dwindling your potential at any level, they got to go. It's going on 2025. What are we doing? Are we still wasting our time around people who want to see you struggling, want to see you suffering? Are you still wasting time around people who never show up when you need them to, but you always there? Are you still going to be dealing with people who have showed jealousy towards you? Some of y'all ladies, some of y'all gentlemen, you know when others are jealous because they can't hide it. That little thought in your mind like, yo, this person acting kind of weird. Believe it. Oh, they acting weird. I find it interesting that it feels like they always say certain things that, you know, it's kind of sound kind of hating like. Hey, believe it, because it's true. It's true. They really be like that. Yep, and it's good to call them out on it immediately. What do you mean by that? You know what I'm saying? Hey, what that's supposed to mean? That radar got to be up. You're going into 2025, man. This is not a game. Somebody said, when can I wield my sword against the enemy? Hey, vengeance is the Lord's. Vengeance is the Lord's. But look, I can tell y'all right now, if you got those people in your life and you can spot them out, start making your exit strategy. Some of y'all just gonna have to tell people what it is. If you're in a situation where you're forced to dwell among people, some of these people, you can't even play this video for them. Because if some of y'all play this video out loud, them people's spirits gonna get riled up. Ain't that something? Some of y'all can't even play this video out loud. Some of y'all got to put the headphones on. Because if you play this video out loud, some people going to feel some type of way. If you in that situation, you need to start making your exit strategy. You need to start making your exit strategy. Because if the shoe don't fit, they shouldn't be offended. Yep. But it is what it is, man. I love y'all, man. I got more material coming. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your post notification bell is on so you can get these videos as they being uploaded. Somebody shared a great scripture, Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from the Spirit. Guide your heart, protect yourself. There's some demonic, murderous, uh, evil, combative spirits out here, some jealous, envious, reviling spirits out here. And I don't want y'all getting caught up with none of them. With that being said, shalom, peace.